What do you mean running on a Mira time? Oh, she's fine, guys. Just running on a Mira time. What does that mean? What is that a racist comment and I just don't know it? Oh, great. Now my computer is starting to do that fan thingy that it does. Yeah, let me see if it stops. 1 second. It's going crazy. I'm gonna need to get my glasses. Oh, where are they? Am I like glitchy or am I okay? Can you guys tell me? Am I glitchy or am I good? Okay, I'm live, but am I glitchy or am I good? Because I don't know. Overheating in this weather, it's garbage. This computer is garbage. I bought it on a whim. Oh, I'm okay? Okay, good. All right, then let's just start then. I'm not gonna worry about it spazzing out. How have you guys been? Like, how have you guys been? I haven't been here with you guys in a while. Hold on. Yeah, it's been a while. I just, you guys know how I get sometimes. You guys have been as exhausted. It is something. It is something. It's something about this time of the year that makes me exhausted as well. How have you guys been? It's been 2 weeks. I know. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I know. Ah, great. The weather is getting warmer. Yeah, maybe where you are, but yeah, in most parts of the north, the weather, I mean, we're in the middle of winter. This is still the middle of winter. It's February. Because winter basically starts in January, no? December 21, basically January. So we're still in the middle of winter in the northern parts of the country. It was 90 degrees 2 days ago, he says. No, that's nice. Well, I live closer in the mountains, so Cali changes from day to day. Exactly. You know how it is. One day we're warm and cozy, next day it's rainy and cold. I don't get it. But we did have a bit of a flood recently. Not as bad as the Pacific Northwest had like 2 months ago. I forget when they had it, but we aren't as bad as that. But we had a small flood. Winter in Wyoming starts in September and ends in May. Yep, yep. So there's some people out here talking about how, oh, the weather's getting warm, spring is upon us. I'm like, where? What, you must live in Florida. You must live in Texas. Because over here, that's not what's happening over here. We're still, yeah, no, we're still up, down, up, down. A-okay, says Thomas. Aaron says, I love the new dude. Do you? Do you? I did cut my hair. I cut my hair. Like, I took the plunge and I cut it all the way off. Yeah. So, yeah, I did it. I know. It's something I shouldn't have done, but I'm actually kind of digging it. I'm digging it. I like it. I don't think I look weird. I think it actually kind of suits my face. So, what do you guys think? It says, when all the ice melts, I imagine flooding will indeed follow. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is so true. Yeah, especially where I am. Yeah. But I wanted to tell you guys there will be ice melting pretty soon here, but there is one type of ice that will never melt. There is one kind of ice that will never melt. And I think that we should have a talk about all the things that have been going on recently with the ice that never melts. Because, listen, there have been protests and protests all over the place. Yeah. Ilhan Omar apparently was attacked attacked. Um, we have people calling for a couple of people, the people who rule and run ICE to be jailed, to be imprisoned, because apparently what they're doing is unconstitutional. It's against people's rights and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you have a bunch of fat women out there with their picket signs talking about melt ice, melt ice. And why are they mad? Because they decided to lay down with Raul down the street, who did not have papers or citizenship. They never got married, and now Mr. Raul is being deported. Oh, so sad. That is not our problem. And then we have people like Rachel. If you guys don't know, me and Rachel are back together again, and Rachel and I were having a bit of an argument, okay? And I know it is what's it called? Not Seahawks Sunday. It is the Super Bowl weekend. It is Super Bowl weekend, and Rachel, she's a 49ers fan. Loser, I know. And she's basically saying that she wants to throw a party at her house for the Super Bowl Sunday, but the reason why she can't have people over is because she doesn't have help anymore because of ICE. She doesn't have help to clean the place up, to put the food out, to cook the food, to serve the guests, and so on and so forth. And I told her, I said, Rachel, do you know that the average person actually does those things themselves and serves their guests themselves, or the guests actually come and help out? I could actually come over and help you, and we could do this together. And she's like, no, Amira, you see, this is the problem. The problem is people like yourself, you don't understand how it is for people like me when we don't have the people who are necessary in this country to help us. I said, who's necessary? She said, Guadalupe is necessary, Amira. I said, Guadalupe is your cleaner lady. How is that necessary? She's like, you don't understand. This is necessary. And now I have no one because everybody has been gathered up by ICE. So, since she doesn't have help for serving and so on, she is going to cancel the Super Bowl Sunday dinner, lunch, brunch, whatever the heck it was going to be. Listen, am I supposed to feel bad because she doesn't have her servants? I'm supposed to say that ICE shouldn't be doing their effing job because she doesn't have her servants? She's and she thinks this is she thinks that this is an absolute necessity. Amira, you wouldn't understand. Okay, all right. No, I don't. No, I don't. Because see, well, anyway, I know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to bore you guys with my life. I don't mean to bore you guys, but it's just every day with her. Every day. Yeah, free Guadalupe, free Guadalupe. She ain't did nothing. Guadalupe ain't did nothing. Well, I told her, I was like, you can go get Guadalupe out yourself. You could, but I don't know. I guess, yeah, I'm not even going to get into it. I don't want to say anything. Lunch, munch, Brady Bunch. Says pay American wages instead of slave wages. I don't know how much she pays Guadalupe. I really don't know. I think Guadalupe gets paid very well, but yeah. Oh, Lipo says she doesn't have arms or hands. Apparently not, Lipo. She told me, like, what did she tell me? She says, I don't cook and I don't clean. Um, my hands are made for bling. I don't cook, I don't clean. My hands are made for bling. I, you know, guys, that, you know, what can you do? What can you do? Ironic how they only want illegals as servants. Is that it? Is it only as servants, or is it that they also want them to do all the? Well, yeah, you're right. That is servitude, isn't it? I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it, JD. Oh my god. He's guess. No, no, no. It's not a woke party. No. Hi, Neil. He says, oh, Zealer says, oh, yeah, the 49ers dropped the ball this year. I know. I know. And she's a 49ers fan because as soon as we moved to California, now she's like all about California, all about California. When we were living in Washington, she was happy. She was like, oh, I love the Seahawks. I love the Seahawks. Now she despises the Seahawks. And now she's all about the 49ers and California teams. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm glad that you like to support your local talent. I'm glad you like to support your local talent. But you got to get some loyalty here. I mean, like either you're loyal to the Seahawks, and I said, okay, so it's Seahawks versus Patriots. Who are you down for? And she said, neither. I just want to see the Seahawks lose. Okay. Okay. Well, then. How has she survived this long? JD, through the grace of God, she has survived. You know she's a Christian. Through the grace of God, she survived. I told her, I said, that's your only saving grace, girl, is that you're a Christian. Says the 49ers dropped the ball in the shot. I'm not going to let that. No, I'm not going to. May the AFC team win. Hi, Keela. Y'all, we voted, and the Democrats can't even handle their democracy. South Park years back did an episode showing the boys hiring Mexican day laborers to do their homework. That is so good. That is so good. Oh. Servants and illegal votes. Yes. Ah, the modern woman. Yes, very modern. She knows it. And listen, she's proudly a modern woman. I mean, I have tried to work on this girl for years. Okay. We have so much in common personality wise, but we are complete opposites when it comes to our our view on the roles of a woman, our duties, our, we are completely night and day when it comes to that. But whew. Samael, Rachel's a quadriplegic, right? She's an invalid, right? She must be, right? That's why Guadalupe is necessary, right? Yeah. hmm hmm You said, now we understand you're depressed because your slaves are disappearing. Work is hard. I, I, I hope you're not talking about me. I have no slaves. I am the slave, remember? Well, actually, I do have Larry. I mean, Larry is my slave, but I don't really consider him that much of a slave, more of a slave of a slave. He's more down at the bottom of that, because at least slaves have rights. He doesn't have any rights. So, yeah. I mean, is he really a slave though? He sold me his soul. I don't have just his slavery and slavitude. I have his soul. So I don't know how that would work. I don't know. Is that slavery? I'm not sure. Okay, are you guys ready? Let's do something. Let's do some. I don't have slaves, lol, lies. Listen, I don't have to be that publicly. I don't have to admit to the world that I have slaves. I don't. I don't. So leave me alone. All right, are you guys ready? Let us begin. I am going to open up the news, and we have plenty of news. We have 7 news stories for you this week, and I'm excited to get to them because you guys know a lot has happened since the last time we were together. We haven't been together in so long. Woo, that's bright. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. I need sunglasses. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Oh, did you guys hear that Don Lemon got arrested? Did you guys know that? He got arrested for the church scandal thing that he did. You guys, maybe that's in this news story, but hold on. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, okay, okay. Are you guys ready? Let's begin. I know where I'm going to start. Okay, I'll start with something that we've already kind of been talking about, and then we'll move into the bullshit after that. Okay? All right, so I'll start with something that we've been talking about first. So here we go. Everybody take a deep breath. Get yourself ready. Get your tea, get your coffee, get your whatever you need to drink in order to take this, okay? Because I'm going to have you guys take it. You guys are going to take it today. You guys are going to get upset. You guys are going to get angry. And you guys are going to want to throw stuff. So take a sip, take a breath, take a whatever you need to do. Keela, put the weed down. Keela, I know you hear me. But do whatever you must aside from those things to get ready for the boo. Okay, here we go. Democrats who have been involved in the illegal orders video, they are refusing to cooperate with the Department of Justice probe. So Senator Elise Slotkin of Michigan and Representative Chrissy Houlihan of Pennsylvania are reportedly refusing to cooperate with the Department of Justice's probe into the illegal orders video that they participated in, which aimed to encourage the military personnel, and all military staff and so on to go against President Trump. Slotkin reported on her social media that she even sent a letter to Pam Bondi and Janine Pirro expressing her refusal to comply with their interview requests. Okay. Hula hoop. But Hula of Pennsylvania, she followed suit on her own social media to grandstand. Okay. Now, in her letter, Slotkin, the other one, Slotkin is of Michigan. So, Slotkin of Michigan, she asked Bondi and Pirro to retain their records in case she decided to sue for infringement of her constitutional rights, because anything that's done to them is against their constitutional rights. Slotkin claims that President Trump's social media posts about her and the other politicians in the video led to quote unquote threats that went through the roof to myself, to my family, and to my staff. Everybody who knows me and who's around me has been threatened because of President Trump posting on social media about me. Now, this is the end of this story with this. Last month, Federal prosecutors contacted Slotkin and the others about said video. Now, time will tell if she and Holuhan will be successful in their refusal to testify. Because you guys know, now everybody is following the Clintons in their aim to not testify and to not cooperate with the DOJ. But only smart money says that they will be interviewed at some point, regardless of whatever the fuck they say. So, yeah. Now, speaking of the Clintons not testifying, do you guys remember I told you that they were in trouble because they were saying that they're not going to testify and blah, blah, blah? Well, that's changed. The Clintons have agreed to testify. After their defiance and political grandstanding, the Clintons, Hill and Bill, have agreed to testify in front of Congress concerning the Epstein files. Concerning the Epstein files, the things that they have been running from this whole entire time, and pointed the finger at President Trump. Did you guys know that there were assholes on Twitter, well, now called X, posting pictures of our president, our our Lord and Savior? I'm kidding. But posting pictures of our president with his own daughter, kissing his daughter and saying like, "Oh, look, our president is a pedo. Oh, look, he's always been a pedophile." I'm like, those are pictures of him and his own kid. And they're calling him a pedophile for loving his daughter. That is, but anyway, I mean, they stoop so low. They are looking for any and everything to try to put on Trump. It just doesn't stick. It doesn't stick. Teflon Don. But anyway, back to the dirty Clintons. Well, they have agreed to testify in front of Congress concerning the Epstein files after the House was set to vote on holding their asses in contempt of Congress. Okay, that's the only reason why they agreed to do it, because they were scared of being held in contempt of Congress. Now, Angel Urena, this is a spokesman for the Clintons. His name is Angel Urena, or is it she? I can't tell if it's a he or she. But anyway, this person attempted to blame the House for the Clintons' refusal to testify by accusing the House of doing the very thing the Clintons did to them. He said, and I quote, or he's, she, I don't know if it's a he or she, I don't really care. But anyway, here's a quote. They negotiated in good faith. The Congress did not. They told you under oath what they know, but you, as the Congress, didn't care. But the former president and former Secretary of State will be there. They look forward to setting a precedent that applies to everyone. End quote. Now, this story has also reached finality with this. Regardless of what their spokesman said, there has been documented evidence showing that the Clintons acted in bad faith. Okay, we all know that. And at one point, they even tried to quote unquote dictate the terms of lawful subpoenas, like as if they know what the hell is a lawful subpoena. They just want whatever. I mean, listen, these people have been breaking the law so much that they don't even know what the real law is anymore. Does that make sense? They just, they like the law applies to them at all at this point. But as House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer stated, they are trying to make the rules in the courts and in Congress, and they cannot do that. The Clintons came back to the bargaining table after they were greenlit for contempt of Congress proceedings. And we're going to see if they're going to try to avoid testifying again. They just might. You guys know how it is with them. It's a slippery slope. It's a yay, nay, and then they run, and then somebody dies. That's usually what happens around the Clintons. It's either yay, nay, and then somebody ends up dead, and then we're like, oh, and they were suicided. And so we'll see who ends up dead around this. But anyway, nonetheless, let's get back to something else. I want to move on to something else, and I'll give you the next story. Bill Gates. Bill effing Gates, okay? Bill Gates, Oprah, and a few other people are people that I would love to see cry in public. And I don't know what it would take to make all of them cry, but I would just love to see them cry in public. I'm just going to say that because I can't say other things because obviously that would be promoting violence. So I'm not going to do that. But anyway, Bill Gates is doing a media tour to deny the Epstein evidence, the Epstein files evidence. He's going around the nation, going around the world to tell everybody, um, hey, do you guys know that whatever it says in the Epstein files, they're lying. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. I didn't do it. I ain't even did nothing. Okay, Bill Gates, you ain't even did nothing. Why don't you let the Epstein stuff come out first before we can finish it? But he says his name has appeared in the released Epstein files. Now, Bill Gates took to any and every social media avenue he could to deny any controversial actions depicted in the files that had his name mentioned. Now, listen, are we really going to think that people like him, and I know I keep bringing up Oprah, but listen, she is shaitana. You guys know shaitana? Shaitan? She is shaitana. But anyway, the Epstein files reveal that Bill Gates allegedly contracted an STD from one of Epstein's victims, and then he secretly gave said STD to his wife. But then he gave his wife antibiotics for the STD that he contracted. He didn't want to let her know that he had contracted an STD, but whatever. So he allegedly gave her antibiotics for the STD that he contracted and ultimately ended up giving to her, I guess, infecting her with. This is just disgusting. I mean, it's so nasty and just so low. It is so low vibrational. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, do you guys want, but anyway, I'll keep going. Other documents in the files revealed an unnamed person's allegations of Bill Gates's strange behavior and also talking about how he always seemed like he was drunk or off the bottle. She even accused, or she actually discussed the possibility of taking legal action against the Gates for unrevealed alleged misconduct. She didn't want to mention exactly what it is, but I'm sure it's going to come out. I'm certain it's all going to come out. You know, everything done in darkness comes into the light eventually. Now, in the midst of all this fallout that guy is receiving, Bill Gates, his ex-wife went on a podcast and she revealed that Bill Gates's association with Jeffrey Epstein was one of the main issues that led to their divorce and her exits from the Gates Foundation. She didn't want to be associated with that anymore once she found out about the extent of their relationship, if you guys get what I'm saying. And that's a smart move. That's the same thing that Trump did. And people are still trying to bring up old pictures of Trump standing next to Epstein. I'm like, yeah, because he didn't know in the beginning, but once he found out, he even banned Jeffrey Epstein from coming to Mar-a-Lago. This is the same thing that the ex-wife did of Bill Gates. She stepped out, she divorced, and she tried to separate herself from the Gates Foundation in any way that she could. Nobody could understand at first why that happened, but now we know. In fact, emails from the Epstein files revealed that Melinda Gates, his ex-wife, she took an immediate dislike to Jeffrey Epstein when she met him. She could feel something was just creepy. Have you guys ever met people like that? Have you guys ever stood next to a person or seen a person where you could just actually feel like something just feels nasty about them? Well, Melinda Gates apparently felt that way about Jeffrey Epstein from the first time she met him. And She reiterated that back in 2022 in an interview with Gayle King, she said, and I quote, I wanted to see who this man was. I later regretted it from the second I stepped in the door. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. She said that she was excited to meet this person to see who he was, and then when she met him, she's like, "Oh, this guy feels, what is the way to describe that? It's like a person who is like slimy. You know what I'm saying? Like a person who feels slimy where you know that if you take your eyes off of that person, something's going to go wrong. Something's going to go wrong. You got to keep your eye on that person. That's the kind of feeling that I'm talking about. And she said that she had that. She even stated that she had nightmares after meeting Jeffrey Epstein afterwards. That's wild. That's wild. Now, as for Bill Gates, his representatives insist that Bill Gates never really visited Epstein's island and that he never really attended parties with him. And they had no involvement in any illegal activities associated with Epstein. Um, yeah, that just sounds like a whole bunch of words. I mean, anybody could say, I didn't do it. No, I didn't. I never did had any sexual relations with that woman. We all can say it. We can all say it. Anybody can what is it called? Shape their mouth and say, I never had sexual relations with that woman. But we all know the truth. We all know what really went down. I don't believe for a second that Bill Gates' creepy ass wouldn't do something like that. I just don't. I don't. I really don't. Especially after knowing what he did in Africa, what he was doing with those girls' schools and such. No, no, no. My fellow Americans, my fellow Americans, believe me, bro. I didn't touch that woman. I don't even like people named Lewinsky. So, I mean, just because you say it doesn't. I mean, can you prove it? Can you prove that you didn't do it? Can you show me something? Can you show me? Oh, I was scheduled to go to Epstein's Island, but I didn't go. I didn't go because you can see my itinerary that year. I was actually somewhere in Costa Rica. I didn't go. You can't show us that nothing happened. If you can't show us, then how are we going to know? All you're doing is saying, like, oh, I see what it says here, but look over there. No, I don't want to look over there. I'm looking at you. I'm still looking at you right now. Until you can prove that this never really happened, I don't give a damn what you say. I never had sexual relations with that woman. Yeah, we know, Clinton. We know. We know. Okay. I'll give you guys another story. Are you guys ready? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Do you guys want to hear something stupid? You guys want to hear something stupid? Okay, I'll tell you something stupid. All right, so, okay. Oh my God. Okay, so there is a sports team, a woke team playing in the Olympics, in the Winter Olympics, right? Now, this woke team has USA members, and they made absolute fools of themselves during these Winter Olympics. Now, this idiot team called USA Skiers. So, the skiers of USA, they made fools out of themselves by expressing their mixed emotions about representing America at the Winter Games. So you represent the country that I don't know, 90% of the world wants to live in, and you have the honor of wearing that red, blue, and white colors on your chest that say USA, 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 and you're going to tell the world that you feel mixed emotions about representing the most powerful, most free, most beautiful country in the world. You're going to go out there and tell the world, you're going to go out there and tell the Kenyans that you don't know if you're proud to be an American. You're going to go out there and tell Zimbabwe that you don't know if you're proud to be an American. You're going to go out there and tell the Cambodians that you don't know if you're proud to be an American. You guys are so stupid, just dumb, just absolute. You know, the world is looking at them like, look at these idiots. They don't know how good they have it. They don't know. But anyway, freestyler skier named Hunter Hess, he lit this fuse by saying that just because he's wearing the American flag doesn't mean that he, quote unquote, backs everything going on in the States. In the United States, he said, and I quote, I'm heartbroken about what's going on in the United States, my home country. I think that as a country, we need to focus on respecting everybody's rights and making sure that we are treating our citizens as well as anybody with love and respect. End quote. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, homie. I don't listen. I don't know what to tell you because you know, I see where you're going, but now you know. I hope that when people look at the athletes competing in the Olympics, like they realize that that's the America we're trying to represent, he says. He went on to say that he is representing his friends and family and not the United States of America. All right, if that's the case, snatch that jersey off your back. Somebody needs to go in there and give him the beautiful American boot and right to the face and say, you know what? You don't want to represent America? Snatch that damn jersey off your back. Get your ass off the border. Get them to the border. Why are we sitting here having people represent our nation with such vitriol and hate to the point where they're like, I don't want to be American. Okay, well, get the out. Get out. Nobody. All right. See. All right. I know. We're supposed to allow everyone to have their viewpoints and have the freedom of speech to say whatever they want. But my thing is, there has to be some type of responsibility when you are going and representing your country. If you do not want to represent your country, then stop trying to be the top in your sport. Don't be the top in your sport if you don't want to wear our flag. You can be the top in your sport in a different nation. What do you mean place and time? Well, I understand. There is a place and time to talk about these things, and you're right. It is damn sure not when you are representing the United States worldwide in the freaking Olympics. That is not the time to come out and be like, I don't want to be American. Shut up and do your job. Shut up. Do you guys remember back when Colin Kaepernick and everybody were kneeling? Do you guys remember when they were kneeling during the Super Bowl and all that, and during the football games? Well, what was it that everybody said? They said, shut up and dribble. You guys remember that? They said, shut up and dribble. We don't care about what you think. We're here to watch you run. We want to see you run up and down the court field, and that's it. We don't need to hear what you think. And that's the same way I feel about these skiers who are out there representing America. They have the American flag on their back. I don't care what you think politically. Your politics don't matter when we are here to watch you run. That's all we want to see. We want to see you run and jump and throw stuff and catch stuff. And that's all we want to see you do. We want to see you look good in tights. That's all. Shut up and dribble. But I get it. I know people have thoughts and ideas. Amber Glenn, who is another team member who embarrassed herself, is now claiming that she received a quote unquote scary amount of hate and threats for talking trash about our president. She talked trash about the president of the United States during a team's press conference. Do you think that that's the time to she was over in Italy. She was in Milan. She was at the Olympics in Milan. And she, during a press conference, instead of talking about her being the top of her sport in the country and so on and so forth, she took that moment to talk trash about the president of the United States. Now, after talking trash about the president, apparently she's saying that she received a scary amount of hate and threats. Yeah, 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 yeah. I understand. Yeah, yeah, I get it. It's not the time nor the place. Okay. But anyway, she did this when she was asked a question about President Trump and his treatment of the alphabet community. She was asked a question about President Trump and his treatment of the alphabet community. And she was asked this question because apparently she identifies as queer. And she wanted, I guess the interviewer was trying to ask her how it affects her, how the state of things are in the United States when it comes to uh, alphabet people. And she told reporters that it's been a quote unquote hard time for the alphabet community, which obviously pissed off some of the members of the quote unquote community. He rightfully pointed out that it's never been a better time to be LGBTQ in America. Okay. So people who were responding to her said, "What are you talking about? It's never been a better time to be LGBTQ. You at this point in time are protected. You can do what you want. Do you think that it would have been easier to be living your fag life if we were back, oh, I don't know, 100 years from today? Do you think that you would live as comfortably as you do?" So anyway, but she's using her platform to quote unquote try and encourage people to stay strong. Glenn mentioned online opinions about celebrities and athletes speaking up about politics and saying that they should just shut up and act or shut up and play ball. She disagreed with that quickly and asserted that political issues are important to them too. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what's important to you. You know, your cat could be important to you, and guess what? I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. You anything there. Oh my God, there could be so many things that are important to you. I don't care. I don't care. When you are out there and we put you in front of the world to represent our country, we don't give a damn. What are you talking about? We don't care. Like she's gonna say something that's so damn important. What? And the interviewer too. The interviewer asking her that kind of question, talking about some, oh well, how do you feel about the state of LGBT? What does that have to do with her dribbling a ball? What does that have to do? I my gosh. I know. I know. I know. That's what I'm saying. Oh, shut up with the wokeness. It's a dying brand. And literally, and you know what makes me happy is that when she went off on her little tangent, she didn't get the support that she thought she was going to get. She thought that she was going to have a Jesse Smollett movement. Oh, everybody's going to back behind me and blah, blah, blah until they figure out that I'm stupid. No, people didn't even accept it from the jump. She was talking trash about the president, and people automatically were like, what are you talking about? Who is out there hurting you? Who is out there coming after you? Nobody. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. Um, and that's what I'm saying. People are changing. This whole wokeness thing, guys, we are reaching that point that we kind of wanted. You guys remember back in like 2020, 2021, we were not really feeling good about the state of things, but things are changing. Here we are in 2026, the year of our Lord and Savior, and we are seeing that the majority of people now are not just going along with the get along. They're not just going along with the LGBT crap. They're not going along with the victimhood crap. They're not, people aren't accepting it anymore. You guys see it? Do you guys see what I see? Do you see what I see? Yes, it's changing. Things are changing. And I know it's slow and it's small and you got to kind of notice it when you see it. I don't know how to explain it. You just got to see it and notice it when it happens, but there are more people today who, when they hear this stuff, they roll their eyes. When before, when they used to hear it, they would be so attentive and be like, oh my gosh, really? Oh my gosh. Before, people would start crying in solidarity with, some kind of like, fag sob story. That doesn't happen anymore. That doesn't happen anymore. Now, when people hear that stuff, they're like, what are you talking about? And they question it. People are questioning it now. They what's it called? Oh, I can't get the word. They not rebuke, but they challenge it. Yeah, there it is. There it is. They challenge it. They don't just sit there and say, oh my gosh, no, we should just be quiet and hear them. No, now they're saying, you know what? You made a statement. Back that up now. Back it up. And I love it because that's what we need to see. We need to see people actually, being smart about this crap, not just sitting there and being like, oh my God, my feelings. Forget your feelings. Let's talk about it. Oh, but anyway, okay. So anyway, as you guys see, that is changing. And hold on one second. She said, and I quote, if it's something that I will not just be quiet about, because it is something that affects us in our everyday lives. So of course, there are many things that I disagree with, but as a community, we are strong and we support each other, and brighter days are ahead of us. And that was the end of her quote when she was talking about the fag community, that brighter days are ahead of them. No, brighter days are ahead of the world. Yeah, if that's what you mean, but it won't be because of you. We're not going to have brighter days on the planet because of the Fag Nation. The Fag Nation has not contributed to the success um, of the human race, of the human species. They have not progressed us forward. They have not. They have done nothing. And if we do have brighter days in the future, it won't be because of them. It will be because of people who succeed because of merit, not through victimhood and labels of, oh, I'm this, I'm queer, I'm that. We're not going to succeed because of that. So her talking about brighter days, yeah, we have plenty of brighter days coming ahead of us as a species. Yes, we do, but it won't be because of them. But anyway, um, this is the end of that story. And it goes like this. Angry Americans on both sides of the political aisle are calling for the deportations of both Hess and Glenn, who are both Olympic winter sports players, okay, representing the United States. These two are Americans representing the United States abroad in the Olympics. And Americans in mass are calling for the deportation and removal of citizenship of these two people to anywhere else in the world we want them to go. We would like, I mean, for Americans to be calling for this in mass is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, yeah, and let's just hope that they lose all their matches as well, and not because of the American flag, but because You guys know. I don't have to say it, you know. It rhymes with flag, but it's not flags. It's not the American flag, but it rhymes with flag. So yeah. And then I want to give you guys another story. Let's move on to someone else. Are you guys ready? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys another one. Hold on. Wait. Where did I see it? Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, are you guys ready? I'm gonna talk about school for a second. Let's talk about school. You guys want to talk about school? Let's talk about school. Yes, laid back, brighter days, brighter days. All right, here we go. Let's clean our palate. Now, there have been schools that have allowed students to publicly walk out. All right. Now, the schools that are allowing these student walkouts are typically schools with pitiful academic records. And recently, high schools all across this beautiful nation are allowing students to walk out of school to protest against ICE. ICE baby. So they're allowing children to protest against things that they don't understand. Schools are treating children like adults. Do you guys know what I'm saying? All right, already schools have no control over the children. They have no control over kids in school. But now they are allowing children to publicly walk out of school to protest ICE. Do you guys realize that if you tell a bunch of high school students that they can walk out of school, do you realize that all of them are going to walk out? And it's not because they know what they're talking about. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know anything about politics and policy, and they don't know. But you're giving them an out. You're giving them a reason to walk out of class, and you are going to allow it because you believe that somehow in your brain dead mind, you think that allowing this to happen is going to show ICE and show the president that he's wrong. Got it. So, high schools around this nation are allowing students to walk out of school, out of class, to protest against ICE without any penalties. No penalties. A few rightfully angry parents immediately went to those schools and removed their kids. They said, you know what? If you're going to tell my kid that they can just walk out of class when I drop my kid off to you every day for you to teach them about things that they need to know in the future, I'm not giving my kids so that you can tell them that they can walk out of school. But anyway, so a bunch of parents have rightfully removed their children from these horrible schools. And as it turns out, removing their children was the best thing that a parent could do. And not just because of the misguided protest actions. They're not just because of that. I'll tell you why. Because according to a recently released data list, the schools that allow the public walkouts, they already have failing academic records. Half of these schools are failures as a school anyway. They were looking for reasons to get free days for their teachers that are probably overworked, underpaid, and just tired. And anyway, these schools are schools that are failing as schools. For example, I'll give you an example. Here is one example of a school. I have a grid here. Sorry, let me feel good. Indiana's North Central High School. Now, their records showed that a 24.7% of their students are proficient in math. 24.7%. That's not even a quarter. Do you guys realize how low the bar is for schools now? Do you guys realize how low the bar is for the average young adult to go out into the world after high school? This this is what we're sending out as Americans. This is what we're sending out into the workforce. We're sending out children who are 24.7% proficient in math. 47.2% are proficient in English, a language that the majority speak naturally, natively at home. And that is the only language that they speak. We can't even get 50% of the students to speak English correctly. They can't read at they most adults in this country cannot read above a ninth grade level. And that's adults. These students, these supposed students, they're not even reading at that rate. Many of them are reading at like sixth grade levels, even in high school. Also, their attendance rates are under 70%. Roosevelt High School in Chicago is even worse. Okay, I'll give you this study. Here's this grid. Only 7% in that high school are proficient in math. That is 4 times less than the state average. 4 times less than the state average. Okay? Roosevelt High School in Chicago is letting kids graduate being 7% proficient in math. Tolleson Union High School in Maricopa County in Arizona, their math proficiency is sitting at 20%, and their English proficiency is at 25%. California, my state, is also represented on this awful list. Fresno High School students are doing even worse than other state counterparts. We have in my state 9.46% of all students are proficient in math. 9% of all students are proficient in math, and 37.4% of them are proficient in math. I can't do this. I mean, this is just, and none of the schools have responded to requests for comments regarding this matter. Like, why are you having such awful academic numbers, but yet you refuse to teach? You would rather indoctrinate the children with political issues that they can't understand. You would rather let children roam the city in the middle of the daytime because, protests and ICE, rather than pulling up those awful numbers. Those numbers are in the tanks. Those numbers are disgraceful numbers. And we wonder why other countries, other nations who are poorer, less competent, are doing better in schools. Their schools are actually teaching children. But another thing is I have to bring up is the behavioral issue. I have to bring it up because I believe sincerely that the behavioral issue is one of the main factors in why our schools are so full of failure. Do you know what I mean? When you take away the power of teachers, you take away the power of adults where they cannot even discipline the children. We have classrooms today that are fully dominated by one bad student. Now, that could be one bad student in a group of 16 or 20 kids. You have a group of 16 or 20 kids in a classroom, sometimes up to 25, 30. But you have that much, and you have one bad student. And because of that one bad student, you will have other students egg that bad student on. Other students get affected. And the adult in the room is not allowed to discipline or remove the problem. So the teachers are trying to teach over a bad student, and you have the good students who will end up failing the class because they can't listen, they can't learn with all these distractions. And I'm saying, my point is, I don't want to bore you guys. I don't know how passionate you guys are about this topic, but I'm very, very passionate about this topic because it bothers me a lot that adults in this country are not being allowed to adult. They're not, parents aren't allowed to discipline, teachers aren't allowed to discipline. No one is disciplining. No one is properly taking charge. And no one can, because as soon as they do, they get in trouble. And you have adults who are bowing down to children in the schools by telling them, "Oh, I understand you're anxious." All the kid has to say is, "I have anxiety." And all of a sudden, all the adults in the room have to say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We understand you're anxious," and blah, blah, blah. Who gives a crap? Everybody is anxious. You have to teach them how to live beyond anxiety. You need to learn how to deal with that and still move on, because the world is not going to sit there and stop because they are anxious. But we're not training adults here. Nobody's training adults. They're training as if children are never going to grow up. And I mean, it's an issue. But like I said, I won't bore you guys with that topic. I will move on because I know a lot of people want to talk about other things other than what's going on in schools, and yeah. But anyway, so that is that with that. And now here is another story that I will give you guys. Are you guys ready? Now, speaking of failures and speaking of schools letting out children that are failures, speaking of all of that, we have the new adults who are entering the workforce. They are entering the workforce with the same anxiety and the same lack of discipline and the same emotional instability that they had in high school, because those issues were never taken care of. So now they enter the workforce with those same issues. Now we have nurses in Florida. They're refusing to treat patients who are Republicans. Any patient that is a Republican, there are nurses, new nurses, who are refusing to treat those patients, or even mistreating those patients. They'll treat them, but they will mistreat them, neglect them, or just outright say, "I'm not going to care for that person because they are a MAGA." Now, Eric Martindale is a Florida-based nurse. He surrendered his license after his public refusal to give anesthesia to Trump supporters. This was all in violation with the state's hard line on medical neutrality and patient discrimination. Now, we have this nurse, all right, Eric Martindale. This nurse is discriminating a patient in the healthcare field because of their beliefs or their stance. If this were any other form of discrimination, whether it be racial or sexual discrimination or whatever have you, it would be a big deal, wouldn't it? But it's not a big deal because obviously these are just Trump supporters. Who gives a damn, right? Right? So, Martindale's post reportedly triggered a test of sorts between state regulations and the free speech rights of healthcare workers when it comes to how or if they treat patients. Now, top law enforcement officials in Florida, national commentators, and even professional regulators have been debating over when the First Amendment ends and when medical misconduct begins or ends. But in the end, Florida State Attorney General James Uthmeyer, he announced that Eric Martindale was no longer a registered nurse in Florida. And this is what I tell you guys, when we don't fix these issues with children in high school and so on, when we don't fix these issues, we are sending these same uneducated, can't do math, doesn't know how to speak English, doesn't know how to read English, doesn't know how to do anything. And not only that, they are uneducated and emotional, which is even the worst. We're sending these emotional, uneducated people into the workforce that then don't know how to interact with people who disagree with them. They don't know how to interact with people who they do not agree with on everything. So this is the same thing that I'm seeing. Eric Martindale is just a prime example of the type of people that we have entering the workforce. And I'm a little bit worried about it too. I'm a little bit worried about it because, God forbid something happened to me and I have to depend on a nurse for something. And, they say, oh, Amira doesn't believe women should work. Amira doesn't believe women should vote. Amira believes that women should, stay in the kitchen and be, whatever. And then all of a sudden people are out there poisoning Amira because they don't believe that Jews are the bane of this nation and that they are the evil people of the world and that they should be eradicated expeditiously. But whatever. All I'm saying is, Hitler was right about some things. But all I'm saying is that we are at the mercy of certain people now. You know what I mean? We are at the mercy of certain people, and if they know that if they find out that they disagree with me on certain things, all of a sudden they're going to say, "Oh, I'm not going to help Amira because she thinks that Jews should be eradicated from the world." I mean, who does that? Who does that? All I'm saying is that wait, what? All right, I'm joking. I'm joking. You guys know I joke, I kid. All right, the end of this story is that state officials described Eric Martindale as part of a pattern of vile or discriminatory behavior by nurses on their social media. And it has become ammunition for the Florida Board of Nursing as they crack down on what they see as political threats against patients. The Attorney General used Martindale's fate as a warning to other healthcare professionals who plan to provide or refuse to provide healthcare services on people with different viewpoints. It is not your job to try to convince a person to see things your way when they are needing you to take care of them health wise. When they need you to take care of their health, it is not your job to tell them how to think or what they should think or what have you. That is not the time to do that. So, it says we could disagree on that point. I'm joking. I'm joking. I would never think like that. You guys know. Oh, attack of the liberal nurses. I know. I know. So, guys, be careful. If you guys are out there and you are America loving, gun toting, keep your family free of rainbows and so on and so forth. If you're one of those people, you might be in danger. If you're a Christian, you might be in danger because these nurses out here, they're wearing rainbow flags. And that's the thing, like, okay, I gotta say, if I ever need it, or whenever I do need it, because I think everybody will need a nurse one day in their life, but whenever I do need it, I need to verify that my nurse is based. I need to know that she's married and yeah, I need to know. I need to know something because I can't have No, no. Hey, nurse. No, no, no. Because one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to try to kill me or I'm going to try to kill them. And that's not going to be pleasant. You know, it's not going to be pleasant. One of us is going to end up getting hurt. And it's probably going to be me because I'm going to be the one needing their assistance, right? So I'm not going to have that. No, 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 no. Do not come here. I'm afraid to even get sick in case they think I need to be made. Ah, that's funny. It says, if you didn't participate or were absent, you failed the course. And it was an engineering course, not liberal arts. Mm. Israel is close to Trump. Oh, I know. I know. Trust me, I know. You guys think I don't know that? I know. Listen, I'm never going to agree with anybody 100%. And you guys are never going to agree with me 100% of everything. And that is normal. That's very, very normal. And it should be expected, in fact. Because if you guys agree, or if I agree with you 100% on every single thing, I'm probably lying to you or you're lying to me in something. Because nobody's going to agree 100%. Now, the thing that I disagree with Trump about is his stance on Israel. But then I also understand that Israel is um, a friendly nation with America. They're not adversaries. I know that. So I just can't think of the right word right now. I can't think of the word. You guys know what I mean when a country is friendly. But yeah, I understand that Israel is not an enemy of the United States. I know that. So I understand, but I will never understand why there are 108 or 109 countries around the world that have kicked this certain group of people out or who have banned them in some sort of way. And America just keeps on accepting it, knowing that there's this one group of people that somehow always ends up in the dirty stuff of America. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Ally. Thank you. That's what I meant to say. Ally. Thank you, Aaron. You knew what I was looking for. You knew exactly what I was looking for. He says Israel is the reason why we have LGBT. I mean, Israel is the reason why LGBT is all over movies and television. And yeah, I mean, it's the reason why rap music is the way it is too. I know people don't like to hear that, but it is true. If the people who were hiring or adding these people onto their record labels and so on did not agree or did not push this type of music or the type of people that they have. You guys know what I'm talking about. Sexy Red and I don't know the other not Nicki Minaj, but what's the other one? You guys know who I'm talking about. The Stallion, the horse girl and all that. All of these female rappers who are constantly rapping about very uh, low class, low quality, low vibrational stuff. This music is it's told to be that way. That it is. Yes, thank you, Primal One. Megan, yeah, Megan the horse. But yeah, I mean, this music and stuff. This didn't come from. I understand something. I know even when gangster rap started being more prevalent, where it was more like instead of people rapping about dance moves or rapping about summer nights and their cars and so on, all of a sudden the music started turning into, you know, You guys know. I'm not even gonna go into it, but you guys understand. They're rapping about being thoughts and superficial. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Primal One. And that's why I say, like, they aren't doing that because that's what they want to do. I don't think so. Because people who have gotten out of the record labels and so on, they have come out talking about how they were told that they should make their music, how that, they're supposed to talk about these types of things and blah blah blah. This is what sells, this is what we're going to get to sell and blah blah blah. And it's not that's what they get to sell. They know how to manipulate certain things and make music beats in a way where, oh my gosh, I don't maybe we should have a show, we should have like a stream talking about that. I would like to talk with you guys about the music industry one day and see what you guys think about what's happened and what is happening currently to music, because music is not the same anymore. I mean, and when I say that, I'm talking about something. I'm talking about music from the 1940s and the 1950s, because I listen to that kind of music. I listen to music from the 40s and the 50s all the way up to about the 90s is and the early 2000s is the music that I mostly listen to. And when I listen to that music, I hear something different in that music that I don't hear in today's music. And a lot of the music today, it has the same type of hypnotic beat. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a chanting. The music sounds like chanty. And back then, when I listened to older music didn't chant like that. It's just something different going on with the music. And I'm just noticing something different. That's all I'm saying. I'm noticing something. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being too suspicious of everything, but I something is not right. Larry says it's a chant beat, but it's constant, Larry. It's like every every new type of, I mean, and every artist is doing it too. You know what I mean? It's like and it's like a hypnotic thing where it's like and I'm like, if you pay attention, you're gonna hear that same beat and that same chanty thing in every single song. And Rachel listens to a lot of hip hop, and sometimes when we're together, she'll play the music, and I listen to it. I'm like, yeah, it has that same beat, that same thing. And when I told her, now she hears it too. And she said, Amira, I didn't even notice. You were right. Most of the music has that thing. Whether it's slowed down or sped up, it's the same type of, But anyway, it is the way I mean, it is how it is. And I was looking back in older music, whether it be rock, hard rock, rap, grunge, um, every other type of music from the 80s or the 70s, the 60s, that was just not a thing. I didn't hear that chanting. I didn't hear all that type of. There was more instruments in music back then. When you listen to the music, you can hear instruments, you can hear sounds of life, sounds of the world, instead of hearing this chant. So, anyway, I mean, whatever. I feel like I'm sounding crazy to you guys now, so I'll stop while I'm ahead. But yeah. Oh, Larry says he noticed right away. So you've noticed it too. Oh, It's the frequency. Yes, thank you, Keela. That's the thing. That the frequency. It's like a, it's like a, but it's a chant. I mean, I don't know if you guys are like understanding me or agreeing with me, but that is what I, that's what I feel, and I hear it, and I'm like, why is it like this? Because the one thing about it is that I understand that when you make music like that, that's kind of like your your subconscious brain, it starts to zone off, you know, because those types of repetitive beats and those kind of things, it makes your brain kind of turn off, and you kind of get uh not numb, but I don't know how to describe it. I feel so stupid. Gosh, I feel so stupid trying to describe this stuff, but the brain kind of turns off. And but when I listen to music from before, I feel like my brain lights up. If that makes any sense, I feel like my brain lights up. It doesn't turn off. It feels different, and I don't know if there's kind of science behind it. I don't know if there's some kind of science behind it, but I feel once I know, once I know that there are certain people in the music industry that do not want the best for the world, then I start to think like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense why you would make music or beats and such that are, that, you know, that make people kind of turn off. The brains just kind of turn off when you, that subconscious, it's not even something you think about. You cannot even think about it. You're not, you're not listening to music and thinking, oh my gosh, my brain is turning off. You're not going to think that. It just you start thinking about things that aren't pleasant. That's all. You just start thinking about things that aren't pleasant. You need to do a video on that. This needs to be discussed more. But I don't know if I'm the right one to discuss it, Primal One, because I can't even get the stupid words. I can't even remember how to express the words that I'm trying to convey. I maybe I'm not the best. Maybe I need to write it down or something, you know. But it should be talked about. I mean, I don't know if there's any videos out there on YouTube or anywhere that talk about the frequency or the chant and the subtle. It's just something. Yeah, right. The devil worshiping is not hiding it. I know you're not crazy. I feel it though, laid back. I feel it. Older music was more natural, and that's what I'm talking about. Because when you listen to music, you're basically listening to the sounds of life. You're listening to the sounds of the world. Even if a song is angry, if there's an angry song or if there's a song talking about bad things, you can relate to it and it doesn't feel bad because you're like, okay, I understand it. I understand what's going on. But it's not something that makes your brain turn off like what I'm listening to today. When I listen to the stuff from today, I'm just like, man, I'm in such a bad mode when I listen to it. I get in such a bad um, mindset, and I just wondered why I kept feeling so angry, and then I thought, it's that stupid repetitive. And like that shit is that is it does something to you. But all right, whatever, and whatever. I'm yeah. Of course you would, Aaron. Of course you would. Just like a woman. Just like a woman. Oh, Laidback said he noticed the frequency too. Okay, so then I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I know. I freaking know it. I know it. See, I'm so glad that you guys see what I'm talking about. Yes, Larry, the beat and the rapper's cadence. Every rapper and so-called singer, if you listen to a certain genre, they all sound the same now. And I don't and my thing is like, why? Why do they all sound like that? Mm-hmm. Yes. Why do they sound like that? Why? Because it's not like everybody heard it and liked it. No, it wasn't a thing where everybody heard that type of frequency and was like, "Oh, I like that." That's not what happened. People weren't out there just craving that. It just started coming more often, more and more often. It just keep. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people did want it, but I don't know. Something just seems off. Something seems off. Try listening to how a DJ tunes with frequencies. It sounds really. I'll check it out. I'll check that out. You know, I'm into everything. You guys know I'm into everything. I will definitely try that. I will look out videos of how DJs use frequencies and tunes and see how they make music, because music can do a lot to a person. You guys know that. Music can change your whole mindset, your view on your day. Music can, it can relate to you, it can anger you, it can make you feel hypnotized, loved, happy, in love even though you're not in love, you know? I mean, it's music can just, it's it's a powerful thing. That's why a lot of like super religious people, if you guys meet like super religious people, they say that humans should stay away from music. I know a lot of people are like, why would you say that? Why would you stay away from music? Because music is kind of a way that is used to control you. You can be controlled subconsciously through music. You even consciously you can be controlled too, but even the subconscious aspect is more powerful about how music can influence you, influence a person without them even knowing. You don't even know why all of a sudden you feel this way, or why all of a sudden you started thinking about something that you weren't thinking about before, even though the music didn't say anything about what you're thinking about. Does that make sense? The music doesn't even have to tell you the words, because the music is speaking to you through something else that is not verbal. It's not verbal. It's something else. I know. Yeah. Oh man. Oh my gosh. I absolutely love that you guys are knowing what I'm talking about. I'm Do you guys don't know how validated I feel right now? I feel so validated. Oh, BTK says Tesla said that everything is frequency. It affects every part of your body with different frequencies. If you just notice how you feel after every time you hear something, that's what I'm saying. I mean, just recognize how you feel and what you start thinking about, and the things that you feel that you want to do after certain frequencies are hitting you, then you can understand what I'm talking about. Because I'm telling you, something is up. But anyway, I will let you guys go. Mr. Dunham said, "Now that I'm 52, I don't listen to music except in the car. I guess I kind of lost interest." Yeah, I'm not a music person either. Um, and the reason I'm not a music person is because I don't like modern music that much. I'm not really a fan of modern music. If I'm gonna listen to music, I'll listen to something um, exotic, something old, or something that doesn't have any words. I like music with no words, because I want the music to influence me. I don't want the word of what somebody's saying. I don't want their story to influence how I feel about the tune, if that makes any sense. I want to hear the tune. And then, yeah. So, yeah. But yeah. So classical music, sometimes, yeah, like, well, sometimes classical, but there is a certain genre of music today that is not classical, but it is kind of like classical. It has no, it's like trance music. It's like trance music, but it's not trance. It's It's not like Tiesto, like back in the day, Tiesto. It's not like that. It's not like trance, but it's music today with deep beats. It's like deep house kind of music. Yeah, deep house music. I like to listen to deep house music. I like to listen to Arabian house, stuff like that. I listen to beats, but um, yeah. So, and I like rock a lot too. I mean, I like angry rock music sometimes. Um, Slipknot, kind of, you know, yeah. Um, I like metal. Um, I like grunge as well, and yeah. What? You said we didn't get to touch on Billie Eilish? Oh, what a shame. I don't really know much about Billie Eilish or Ice, whatever her last name is. I don't really know much about her, but yeah. Techno is also great. Yeah, techno is good. I don't mind techno at all. Y2K, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Guns N' Roses, Metallica. Oh, yeah, classic. I mean, for a while, I did get into grunge too, like Nirvana and stuff like that. I did get into that as well for a while, but then then I got into Slipknot, and I was like, I'm like, yes. When I heard Slipknot, I was like, that is my soul music. Yes, wow. I'm like, yes. um, but yeah. So, and then I like classical as well. Um, I listen to Bach. I like Bach a lot. I like um, Mozart. Um, yeah. I mean, dang, I don't, yeah, I don't really listen to much music, but when I do, I really listen. When I listen to music, I listen. I listen. I turn off the lights. I like when I listen to music, I will turn off the lights and put on like ambient lighting and just have it dark in the room, and I'll just lay down on the floor, put blankets everywhere, and like just listen and just go off into a different world with music. But yeah, when I listen, I listen. I get into it. So yeah, but I don't listen often. Even when I drive, I don't listen to music. I listen to court cases when I drive. I listen to like sovereign citizens in court and such like that. And I'm such a loser. But yeah, I listen to court. Um, uh, Beethoven's Ninth. I like the seasons music, of course. Yeah. But yeah, but when I really want to just relax, I'll listen to deep house music. A little bit of deep house with like good bass, deep house with strong bass in it. That's something that I can just drive to and I can just enjoy and have long drives along a lake or something like that. That's for that. Those are for those times. Bollywood. I listen to some Indian rap too. Indian rap is pretty good because it doesn't have that new American rap trans stuff that it doesn't have that. Indian rap, it still has old school American rap flavor because they haven't been taken over yet by the Jews. Didn't know that was a thing. Oh, it is. It is. Listening in the dark? Yeah. Yeah, listening in the dark. Just turning off the lights and listening to certain music will it feels so good. It feels really good. Listen to Poison and Metallica. Oh yeah. You good choice. You have good taste. Okay, well then, I'll let you guys go. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get some rest. Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you for relaxing with me. What are you talking about? This strobe light. All right. Good night, guys. Thank you all for hanging out with me for the time that we were hanging out. And I'm gonna go off quickly. I won't stay long this time like I normally do. I won't do a long outro, but I will give you guys a toaster.
Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
And I will not be taking a bath with my toaster tonight, but when I do decide to, I will let you guys know. Good night, everyone. Thank you for hanging out. I'll see you on the next one.